Welcome to the next topic of overhead cost in cost evolution. So, overhead costs in product design and development are indirect expenses that cannot be traced directly to a specific product or project but are necessary for running a business operation. So, these costs are incurred to maintain the infrastructure, support staff, and other activities. So overhead costs are typically categorized into fixed, variable and semi-variable cost. So in factory overhead, this is a manufacturing overhead. So it is divided into factory overhead refers to indirect costs related to manufacturing process. So examples of factory overhead are the depreciation, utilities, maintenance, factory supplies, factory rent, supervisor salaries. In administrative overhead, so these are all the costs associated with the general management and administrative functions of the company. So examples include executive salaries, office supplies, legal and accounting fees, insurance, office rent, and software licenses. In selling and distribution overhead, so these costs are incurred as a result of selling and distributing the products to customers. So examples of these overheads includes the sales, personal salaries, advertising and promotion, shipping and delivery cost, retail and distribution and facility cost, customer support. See, the fourth one is the research and development overhead. So R&D overhead, it refers to the indirect costs related to innovation, product development and improvement efforts. So examples include the R&D facility cost, testing equipment, R&D staff salaries, intellectual property cost. So the next one is the fixed versus variable overhead cost. Fixed overhead costs. So these costs remain constant regardless of production levels. So they do not change with the volume of goods production or sold. Examples includes rent for the factory or office, salaries of permanent employees, or depreciation on machinery. Variable overhead costs. So these costs fluctuate with the level of production or activity. As production increases, our variable overhead costs tend to rise. So examples, utilities like electricity and water that increase with production volume, maintenance costs based on machine usage, factory supplies that are consumed during production. Semi-variable overhead costs. So these costs have both fixed and variable. For example, some utilities may have a fixed monthly fee plus additional charges based on level of consumption. So examples include telephone bills with a fixed monthly fee plus additional cost based on call volume, employee overtime, as paid when production demand increases. Allocating overhead cost. So allocating overhead cost is essential for pricing, financial reporting and determining the cost structure of products. Businesses allocate these indirect costs to products and departments based on a reasonable and consistent method, often using cost drivers or allocation basis. So the first one is the methods for allocation. So here here comes our direct labor hours. So allocate overhead based on the number of hours spent on production by workers. So this is commonly used for labor intensive products. Next one is the machine hours. So allocate overhead costs based on machine usage, such as the number of hours a machine is running. This is typically used in manufacturing process that are machine intensive. Units produced. So allocate overhead cost evenly based on the number of units produced. So this method is used when each unit produced requires similar amounts of overhead support. Activity based costing, which is ABC. A more detailed method that assigns overhead costs based on the specific activities that incur them. For example, cost of setup time, inspection, material handling, that's all. So ABC provides a more accurate allocation and is especially useful in complex production environments. So this image depicts four common methods of cost allocation used in cost accounting and manager decision making. Here's a brief explanation of each. So first one is the direct cost allocation. So it assigns directly to a specific cost object or like a product, department or project. So when costs are clearly traceable, for example, raw materials for a product. Examples include allocating the cost of wood directly to furniture manufacturing unit. Next one is a step down or a two-stage cost allocation. So it allocates a service department a cost to production departments in a step-by-step order. So the method to be followed is rank service departments, allocate the first department's cost to others, continue stepwise ignoring feedback loops. For example, HR cost allocated to production and then maintenance cost allocated further. Activity-based costing. So it allocates overhead costs based on activities that drive costs rather than just volume. So it mainly focuses on cost drivers like machine hours, inspections. So more accurate product costing. Next one is the absorption costing. So all manufacturing costs are assigned to products. It includes direct materials, direct labor, variable and fixed manufacturing overheads. So each method suits different business needs. ABC for detailed accuracy, direct for simplicity, step down for shared services and absorption for full cost visibility. So next one is the importance of managing overhead cost. So profitability. So overhead costs significantly impact a company's profit margins. Understanding and managing overhead costs allows businesses to optimize their spending and improve profitability. Second one is the pricing and pricing strategy. So allocating overhead costs accurately is crucial for setting product prices. If overhead costs are not properly accounted for, it could lead to underpricing, which may result in losses or overpricing, which could hurt sales. Cost control. By monitoring and controlling overhead costs, companies can identify areas where cost-cutting measures may be implemented, such as reducing the energy consumption or improving the efficiency or renegotiating the supplier contracts. Fourth one is the operational efficiency. Understanding the breakdown of overhead cost helps businesses identify inefficiencies and areas where productivity can be improved. So it contributes to the overall operational efficiency. So this picture explains the importance of understanding overhead cost in business operations, shown about six key benefits. So first one is the accurate pricing, next budgeting and financial planning, profitability analysis, cost control, competitive advantage, informed decision making. So in a conclusion, overhead costs are essential for running the daily operations of a business and ensuring that products are developed, manufactured and delivered efficiently. While they may not be directly tied to any single product, effectively managing these costs is vital for companies' financial health. By understanding and controlling factory, administrative, selling and the R&D overhead costs, businesses can ensure that their product prices are competitive, that their profit margins are sustainable ones. Thank you.